Hey, in today's vlog, I'm going to share with you the biggest mistakes you make while test driving cars. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Hey, I tell you what, summer is the absolute funnest time, and I was just talking to a YouTube subscriber today who's interested in buying a Corvette from me, and he says, dude, I love that you show that American flag. And so I'm going to show it again. You know, my son's a United States Marine, active duty, and I've always been a very patriotic person. My grandparents were in the military. Both my grandmother and my grandfather, multiple people throughout my life, role models are in the military. You know, I was a firefighter for a long time, all that good stuff. So always look at that flag as a huge symbol of patriotic and also who fights for our freedom. So, but I figured before I'd start the vlog on what I was gonna talk about, I figured I'd show you a few cars, and I also have a customer on his way here to take delivery of a used vehicle coming from New York area. But this is something really cool. Now, I have not taken a 1990 or a Prowler. This is a 1999 Prowler. I have not taken a Prowler in on trade since 2010, 2011 timeframe. I remember like it happened yesterday, and it was a red one, and I know exactly where we had it parked on our old showroom floor. That's the new showroom floor. But absolutely beautiful car. You know, and one thing I know about Prowlers, I've sold a number of them over the years, is this usually fades really bad, and there's issues there. This one's really low mileage. It's been really well taken care of, and none of the plastic is faded or anything like that, which is really good. Obviously, I've got this out here on the front line. We always price our cars with the best price, so $26.9, and it's only got 21,000 miles on it right there. So really fun car to have, and definitely something to take to car shows and stuff like that, and just definitely get everybody looking. So you can see there's no fading on that plastic, there's no fading on this plastic back here. So that's one of those really cool cars. And I will tell you this, as a lot of people, I posted this on my Instagram and on my Snapchat and Facebook, so if you want to follow me on those links are down below. But a lot of people said this was the biggest disappointment of cars out there, because they should have put a V8 engine in it, and everybody said it was intended for a V8, but they put a six-cylinder in there. I think 250, 295 horsepower. I'd have to look that up after when I'm editing to do that. But yeah, just under 300 horsepower with this car. But definitely could put a V8 in there, and a lot of people did throw me YouTube videos of somebody putting a V8 in there and making that car very fast. So I am getting ready to deliver this. This is a 2018 1SS 1LE that I sold back in December. You see it's a really pristine car. It's very nice. But we had one issue, and this actually is a YouTube subscriber's trade-in. He bought a 2SS 1LE from me after he traded this in, but we had to have GM do some assistance on this trade. So if you notice, he has got some rock guards, mud flaps, whatever you want to call them, on here, because after he bought these, and these have got 305 tires on the back, 285s on the front, because this is a 1LE car. One thing that I'm finding out about this, which I'm going to protect my car, because thanks to MRR wheels, I do have some black wheels, not these ones. You guys picked the wheels. I polled my subscribers, and you guys said, hey, get these wheels. I got these wheels from MRR wheels, and I have them come in, and I'm going to show those to you right away here by the end of the month. But one thing that's happening with this car and why he's trading out of it is he started getting some rock chips, especially down in here in this area. He started getting some rock chips, so GM said, hey, listen, we'll help you out, we'll take care of you. We got him into a 2SS 1LE car. So if you have a 1LE car, I would say that you need to get some clear bra protection on these rocker panels, so that way you do not get rock chips on your car. And I'm going to show you, I'm taking a really cool car in on trade, and that should be here any second. And I'm going to show you what I'm taking in on trade for this 2018 1SS 1LE. regardless if I'm sharing or showing or selling a $2,000 car all the way up to a $145,000 ZR1, which I sell all of the above, they all have one thing in common, and that is you test drive them. In today's vlog, I'm going to share with you how to properly test drive a new or used car that you're going to purchase. So a couple of the biggest mistakes that people make on test drives is, one, they don't test drive the car far enough, and two, they don't sit there and use the right techniques. So for 18 years of selling cars, every single customer that walks on a lot has an analogy that I keep in the back of my head that I make sure that I help them with when they're purchasing a car. Now, they don't really know that, and I really don't bring it up to them, but I ask qualifying leading questions to them so that they answer them correctly and allow me to help them in the most convenient and the most economical way. And so every time you're going to look at a car, I want you to remember the word spaced, S-P-A-C-E-D. Every single one of those letters have a meaning to your car buying experience. The word space has 6 letters, as you see right over here, and they all have a meaning. S is for security, P for performance, A for appearance, C for comfort, E for economy or eco, and D for dependability. Every car buyer has something on that list, and every car buyer is going to have something different. And when they come in, I'm standing in the Chevy Cruzes. If you're looking for a new or used Chevy Cruze, you're probably going to be looking at economy, dependability, and maybe some safety and blah, blah, blah. If you were just in an accident, you better believe that customer walking in, talking to me, is going to be honed in on safety. If I'm selling you a Corvette, you're probably going to think about appearance and performance. See, every single customer that they're looking at is going to be sitting there and having a different way of their looking and the different way that they approach the car buying process. Now, let's go to the next step and actually drive the car, and I'm going to show you the first steps to look at when you're walking up to the car and what to listen for and how I present a car to a customer so that they feel comfortable and know that they're buying the right vehicle. We're going to use this Nissan Altima right here as a demonstration vehicle. I'm going to share with you what I do on every single test drive. Now, the best thing for you to do is allow the salesperson to get into the car and have them start it. Here's why. You need to sit here and watch the exhaust pipe, and you need to listen to the engine. Now, this vehicle is a 2015 with like 45,000 miles. There's most likely not going to be an issue, but if you come down here on my bargain lot on the other side of that Penske truck, those are my cars that are $2,000, $3,000, have 100,000 miles on them, have 200,000 miles on them, and those are the ones you really need to pay attention to. But say something has 80,000 miles on it, you definitely want to pay attention to it. You want to listen to how the engine starts. Hearing the engine start cold is very beneficial because you can hear a lot of information come to the engine start. So the very first thing that I do when I hop in the car is start the engine. So since I'm in here, what I do is I look at fuel, because I do not want to run out on test drive. If you notice, we have a full tank of gas in our used cars. I look for any type of warning lights, engine lights, funky smells. I turn the radio down, I turn the air up on a hot day or the heat up on a cold day, stuff like that. And the only reason we have that turn signal, that triangle with an exclamation point on it, is because the door is open. When I shut that door, you see that it'll go away. And then typically, since we're inside the inventory, I will tell my customers that I will back the car out for them so that they do not have to be stressed over backing out of a tight spot on a dealership's lot. And then also I back it out so that way they can look at it, open it up, look at all the features of the car, and go from there. Now, the first thing you want to do is look around the vehicle. And my dealership, we make sure that a vehicle is not out here with any imperfections, door dings, bad tires, smells in cars, stuff like that. And it is a big misnomer that a car with smoke in it will never get that smoke smell out. That's not true. I get smoke smell out of cars all the time, and there's a way to do that we can touch base on another vlog. But I always like to look at the tires. I like to look and see if there's curved wheels, anything like that. And a good indicator that somebody's looked at this car is looking for handprints on the glass, because people always put their handprints on the glass. So kind of look for scuffs, anything like that. You got to realize you are buying a used car. There's probably going to be something, but if you're looking around a used car and see that everything looks good, you're probably buying a nice car. Outside of looking at the Carfax, there's really nothing more that you need to do when you're looking at the car from right here. So don't be rushed here. Make sure you have your mirror set, make sure the steering wheel set, make sure the seat's set, take the radio, make sure it's off. Take the AC fan down if it's cooled down or heated up a little bit, because typically in the summer and in the winter we need to crank that fan like I showed you earlier. And then just take in the dash and take in the radios and make sure that you understand how everything works. Make sure you buckle up, and then let's go for the test drive. So when you're test driving the car, you want to make sure you let the salesperson know what you're going to do. Watch behind you to make sure that you don't do anything to other drivers on the road. And then we're going to do a few things on the test drive. Now, when I appraise a car, I literally only need to drive a few hundred feet. I don't need a elongated test drive. Most consumers, I take on about an 8 to a 10 mile test drive, which takes 10 to 15 to 20 minutes sometimes. So the very first thing you want to do is, when you get into an area, is push the gas down. Rev that engine up, get it up as high as it can go for fuel, for RPMs. Feel how that transmission shifts. Look behind you and hit the brakes really hard. So we're going to do this for several reasons. We're going to see how the transmission shifts going up, and then we're also going to feel how the brakes happen in a panic. So what you want out of the brakes is a good steady brake. You don't want the wheel to be shaken. As you saw here, the wheel did not shake when I test drove, and then you can go back up to normal speed. Take the car and rock it a little bit. Again, let your salesperson know what you're going to do. You don't want to sit there and freak them out, especially if they're brand new to the car business. You have no idea how you'll freak a new guy out. Again, we want to make sure that we go over some bumpy roads, we go over some railroad tracks, we take some curves, take some hills, stuff like that. When you have an opportunity to stop, you want to make sure you can check out all the gauges. Make sure that the temperature gauge is not too bad. Make sure the battery gauge is there and it's in the correct area. It should be sitting right around 14 amps on the battery. And then just make sure everything lights up and works as promised. So you want to make sure you test both turn signals. As you know, turn signals will flash real quick when they are not working properly. Something that most people don't do is test out the cruise control. Make sure you test out the cruise control. Most cruise controls operate at or above 30 miles per hour. So make sure you get up above 30 miles per hour and turn that cruise control on. On a test drive, we're not cruising. So it could be a big and unfortunate time a month down the road, 2 months down the road, when you go to put the cruise engage on a long trip and it's not working. After you've done that fast acceleration, hard brake, you want to make sure you get that transmission through all the gears at normal speeds. Try to get up to a highway speed. Not all dealerships are around highways, but certainly you can get it. I'm going around a good curve right here. You can feel how well the car does around these curves, like I mentioned beforehand. And then also that's going to drop my speed a little bit so that that transmission downshifts, and you can feel how that transmission and engine handle in these downshifting and curve areas. Now, it's a really hot day today. It's 94 degrees here in Louisville, so we're going to obviously check the AC. In the wintertime, it's going to be tough to check the AC because the AC blows out at about 40 degrees or so. So therefore, on a 30-degree day, it's going to blow out what seems to be hot. So you can't check the AC in the wintertime, but you can certainly ask them to pull that vehicle indoors, like into a service area, and check the AC right there. On a hot day, that heat's going to come out probably, typically, most likely at an extremely hot temperature, and you're going to feel that regardless of the time of season. Sometime during your test drive, you want to stop in some type of parking lot, somewhere where there's not a lot of congestion. Take a deep breath, look over the car one more time, and make sure that it fits all your wants and needs. Again, spaced, S-P-A-C-E-D. Remember that analogy because it's going to help you when you're out on the car lot. If you have a separate driver, let them drive the car as well and let them get in a good simulated test drive like you have just experienced and not something short. The salesman should never tell you no, that they can't go in a certain area or a certain thing. Now, you certainly don't need to go on an extremely across town test drive. Obviously, the safety of that salesperson that you are working with is in the minds of the dealerships and the managers and the employees, but certainly you can go on an extended demonstration drive with that salesperson, providing it's within his company's policies. There are policies out there that the dealership does have in place that says you can only go certain routes. Now, you can do that route 2 times, just so you know. So don't let the salesperson dictate how long of a test drive you can do or how short of a test drive you can do. That's up to you. It's your money. It's your money spending. It's your monthly payment every month. All right, so the customer is here, and I'll give you a little tidbit of what it is. I'll take a whole lot of these cars in on trade, and I'm really excited to see this car in person. I'll show you it right here. Little Honda Civic SI. He's done some work to it. He's got these little Aeroflow Dynamics side skirts on it, so it's pretty cool. You guys may know more about this than I do. It's a little red spoiler down there, but I don't sell these a whole lot, so I don't know a whole lot about them. So I know he did some exhaust work, so let's start this up and see what this exhaust is like. Not too bad. It's not a V8 sound, but regardless, it's a different sound than a 4-cylinder. 3,000 miles on that, and it's available for sale probably in the $24,000 range. Pretty nice, cool car. All right, so I'm like the last person to leave here at night. The customer is getting ready to head back to New York, as you saw him pull off the showroom floor. So when you're buying a car from me, there's obviously several options. There's options to drive here. He had a trade-in at 2018 Honda Civic SI, which I think is pretty cool. My buddy Joe, who you've seen in the vlogs before, he's a big Honda guy, so he loves that thing. He had a, you know, I don't know, he just liked it, I guess. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But nonetheless, I can ship the cars to you, and everything works just like you're next door to me. I mean, just like I'm next door to you, wherever you live. So try to make the transaction very, very simple. As you do any type of Google searches on me, you'll see everything is positive. So if you have any more questions on the right things to do when test driving a car, throw them down in the comments below. I read every single comment. I'll be more than happy to answer when I get some time. So again, if this is also your first time viewing my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that bell notification, so you see all my videos when I upload. And then if you like the video and want to see more stuff like this, throw a big thumbs up as well. So you'll see more videos like this coming in the future. And then the past videos that I have, look down and below and look right up here. There is a playlist for car buying tips that you should check out. And if there's anything I can do for you, just let me know. Thanks again for watching. Have a fantastic day and drive safely.